Good morning and welcome to day one of our clean eating group. Now, my phone's dead, so I've got my iPad propped up, which is why the view's a bit different from usual. So I really hope there might be some people who are joining me live at 7:15, and obviously many of others of you will just watch this whenever you want. Okay, so welcome to clean eating. Now, I hope you will have got your clean eating guide out and you'll have had a read, okay? And I think the important thing so we're all on this group because we want to, oh, Tori's there. Hi, Tori. We're all on this group because we want to make some changes to how we eat, and as a result, how we feel, okay? It's really important that we all realise that every single one of us on this group is different, okay? So we've got different appetite, different palate. Hi, Melanie. We've got different lifestyles. We are completely different. Okay, so these are general recommendations, and what you're going to do is you're going to think, okay, how does that impact on me? And and how much of this am I going to do? Now, I will just say, oh, well done. Porridge and berries for breakfast, very fueling, well done. So just a couple of things before we even start is that you're going to take what you want from this booklet, all right? Now, I say that because I've probably done clean eating on at least 5 different occasions over the last 5 or 6 years, okay? And I've tended to do more each time I've done it. So what I mean by that is the first time I did this, I got the book, I thought, well, I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that either. But that's probably because I'm not a very flexible person when it comes to, in the past, I haven't been very flexible when it's come to my eating. Well, I have to have that for breakfast. Oh, and I'm not doing that. Oh, and I don't like smoothies. Oh, and I'm not doing fasting. So that's how I started. And then as I've gone through and I've done clean eating a number of times, I've kind of embraced different things. And actually, as you know, I don't drink alcohol anyway, and when I'm looking at that, so there are certain things, each time I sort of do a bit more of it and a bit more of it, is what I'm saying. So it's not a case of you have to follow every single guideline from today, but the more you do, the more you'll get out of it, okay? Right, so that's really important to remember. So don't be sort of overcome by all the guidelines. A lot of them are just going to be quite straightforward for you to run with, and other things will be more challenging, okay? Basically, clean eating is about avoiding processed foods, avoiding diet food, okay? So for some people that's quite challenging because they always buy this type of yogurt. They always, and actually doing something different could be nice. It's going to be good. So clean eating is about keeping your food as natural as possible. And next, I don't ignore that. Okay, no processed food while you're on this block, all right? So if you get the most of the plan, we recommend for the first 5 days, you go wheat-free and caffeine-free with an option to go dairy-free. Okay, so this is again about you choosing what you're happy to do, okay? When I was asking on the group yesterday, what sort of areas are you having issues with? Lots of you mentioned about breakfasts and about meals, okay? So we'll come to that in a minute. So there's no portion control or calorie counting, but this does not mean you can eat as much as you want. It's more important that you eat until you are comfortably full, all right? Until you are satisfied. Those are the words, satisfied. So again, we all have different levels of that. Lots of us, including myself, eat more than I need. I know that. I've gone to a medium-sized plate, but I will have seconds. So that's for you to decide this week. Do I actually need 2 pieces of granary bread in my sandwich? Could I do with 1 and something else? I don't know. There's going to be lots of questions you're asking yourself this week. So by eating clean, you'll remove the following from your diet. Sugar. Okay, so that's massive. So for some of us, that is massive. And of course, sugar isn't just in sweet things, like cakes, sweets, biscuits, chocolate. It's also in processed savoury foods, things like tomato sauces, But obviously sugar is also in alcohol, wine, sorry, and obviously in a lot of other things as well. But it's obvious, it's usually quite obvious in the sweet things, but obviously it's not in the savoury things. So caffeine is optional. So for some of you, it's literally just a matter of going from a calf tea bag to a decaf tea bag. You're going to struggle with no sugar. Well, the thing is, cut it back, Tori. All right. Hi, Michelle. Cut it back. You know, it's up to you how you do this 7 days. And also, you need to be looking at alternatives. Okay. Right. So, don't worry. That's fine, Michelle. It's great to have you here. So, you can decide about caffeine. You know, so we're going through this welcome bit. So, sugar. So, for me, it's going to be massive. I'm going to go for it. And I've said to Andy, he's joining me the way he's doing it. I'm doing it my way. Caffeine, you're going to try and cut down or cut that out. No alcohol, they're suggesting for this week. Now, we're starting on a Monday and I'm going to do it for 7 days. I just won't do the 7:15 talks at the weekend because I should be in bed. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to run this group for the whole 7 days. And then we can sort of see how we feel by Sunday, and it's going to be good, I can guarantee it. Now, the dairy is completely optional if you want to be looking at non-dairy milk, like oat milk, almond milk, soya milk, or it may just be, you know, you carry on with dairy, that's absolutely fine. I would think you want to consider reviewing your cheese consumption. Cheese is 34% fat, so if you're doing this to lose inches like most of us are, sometimes we need to review how much cheese we're eating. I'm a sprinkler of cheese. Given half a chance, I would sprinkle cheese on everything. So for me, I'm going to be sprinkling a lot less this week. Now, wheat. Mariam was talking about that she had a wheat-free week last week. There's a lot of W's in that sentence. And is feeling really good on it. So for some people, wheat makes them feel quite bloated. So, it's up to you. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, so Tori says going to have milk, but no other dairy. And of course, things like yogurts, Tori, are packed with sugar, but that's another story. So think about what you can do about wheat, what you're going to have instead of. That's what people will be thinking. What we particularly want you to be avoiding is white processed carbohydrates. So things like white crumpets, white bread, white pittas, white rice. Try and have the wholemeal or granary alternative. And this week is about trying new things, okay? It's about changing our self-talk from, oh, well, I can't do that, I'm not doing that, to I'm going to try it. I'm going to buy this instead and taste it and do something different, all right? And then you're going to avoid sweeteners, additives, preservatives, and anything processed, all right? So, this is interesting, okay? We want you to think about eating for your health and well-being and forget about dieting. By eating good, wholesome, healthy food, you will not only lose weight, we want to be losing fat, remember it's fat, not weight, but you'll feel good inside and out. Now, interesting, we know this, stress is one of the biggest causes of excess fat because stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol are fat storing. Oh, no, we don't want that. So, you'll need, during the 7 days, you'll be looking at ways where you're going to actively just stop and relax. And it was really interesting on Saturday at the workshop. Claire Amos, who led the guided relaxation, she was sort of saying, how often do you stop? Do you stop every day and just relax? Okay, why would I do that? And it wasn't just a case of stopping and then watching telly. It was a case of just stopping and relaxing. And it wasn't about doing another activity when we sat down, because I would sit and watch Below Deck when I want to just go. And it was really amazing, and I just felt so chilled and relaxed after her guided relaxation. It was amazing. I just felt this real lift. I just felt all floaty and really, really relaxed. So maybe you could be thinking about having an extra long bath this week, or if you've got time, I don't know, sit in nature for 5 minutes. It's like no book, no iPad, nothing else to entertain you. Just sit with your thoughts and relax. Or it might be that you could have a massage, you could go to a yoga class, I don't know, just a time when you just stop. But stress and stress hormones, reducing them is going to be really good. Okay, so clean foods are foods in their natural state. They're not processed. No added artificial flavours. They have a short shelf life. Very few ingredients and on the packet, and they make you feel satisfied. All right. Now I'm going to go through at the end of for the rest of this session. I'm just going to talk about page 5. Now that's our. Now I've crossed out rules and put guidelines. All right, because that works better for me. I don't like rules, but I'm happy to stick to a guideline. Okay, change your breakfast mindset. Okay, right. So we need to move away from the. So obviously, we don't know what you normally eat, but this book is telling us get rid of the processed cereals, okay, and try a protein-rich breakfast with greens and see how you feel. Now, we're moving away from processed white breakfast cereal. So what I mean by things like Special K, Rice Krispies, cornflakes, that white processed stuff that I know some people eat, and also white bread. So you can swap to either a higher fibre wholemeal granary type thing instead that's low in sugar, or you can be embracing protein and greens. Yes, so that could be in the form of a smoothie. So when you go to page 12, breakfast ideas, they're taught, so obviously protein is in things like eggs, fish, meat, pulses, tofu. So breakfast ideas, you could have eggs for breakfast, okay? Spinach, omelette with spinach or scrambled egg with spinach and smoked salmon. You can go down that avenue. You could go down the porridge and berries avenue. You can go down the smoothies avenue. It's about what you want, but I would challenge you to try something different, okay? Some people really like smoothies. Certainly, when you are doing smoothies, make sure they're not too fruit filled, because otherwise they can be if they're too fruity, they can be very high in sugar. So they have to be vegetable-y as well. All right. So they're saying any combination of fruit and veg, spinach, kale, kiwi fruit, apple, pear, banana, almonds, pineapple, and coconut water. There you go. And then obviously they're also talking about whole grains. So read that for some breakfast ideas. But basically you just need to review what you're actually eating, all right? And then thinking, how can I add a bit more fibre to it? How can I make it a bit less processed, all right? Say goodbye to sugar is number 2, okay? Processed sugar is very addictive. So many of us need to look at the pinch points in our day when we reach for sugar. So that could be, I don't know, on Saturday when we talked about it, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock was a time when people get hungry and nibbly and they're, right, so you need to be thinking, what else can I have instead? Don't know, chopped up apple, whatever you choose, I'm not telling you. And then lots of us eat in the evening. We are grazers. So again, it's looking, I think it's important not to have too much of this stuff in that you can't have or that you're choosing not to have. Try and look beyond it if there are other people in your house that want it, or otherwise you can just buy it differently this week. No fake foods, whole foods only. So moving away from, go for fruit for sweetening things rather than sugar, all right? And moving away from sweeteners and preservatives. A whole foods diet is a key to a healthy lifestyle. The less processed, the better, okay? I'm going to whiz through these because I've just seen the time. Embrace good fats, nuts, seeds, avocado, and fish, all right? They're filling, and so by eating them with other things in your meals, stop you from overeating, all right? And of course, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats are much better for your health than saturated ones. Whilst preventing you from overeating, good fat also helps burn fat around the midsection, helps absorb vitamins and minerals, and cushions joints from wear and tear. Don't we all need that once we get to a certain age? Okay. So, number 5, don't diet, choose clean. Walk away, step away from the diet. I don't ever use names, but step away from those diet yogurts. You don't need low fat. You can have full fat yogurt, but just less of it, and go for full fat yogurt with fruit that you add your own. Go natural yogurt and add your own fruit. So much better than an over processed yogurt, all right? Food manufacturers label items diet when there's no fat in the first place, often highly processed with salt, sugar and toxic sweeteners. They don't nourish our bodies, so we tend to overeat them. Okay, number 6, think about your well-being and relaxing. So we've mentioned that. When we're anxious, angry or tense, our bodies release cortisol, a fat-storing hormone, which also makes us crave sugar. Exercise is a fantastic way to alleviate stress, combined with meditation and relaxation techniques. Okay, we'll come on to that in a minute. Sleep, make sure you get enough of it. Ooh, number 8, no alcohol. Sorry, ladies. Alcohol makes your body store fat by putting stress on your liver. Okay, so limit your drinking if you can't stop it altogether. And spirits are the cleanest options, so they're going to have much less sugar in them than other things. Alco pops and things, I don't know. I don't drink any of it. I eat cake, all right? So you'll have to look into alcohol if you do like it. Now, you'll like this. Right, okay, so number 9, okay. During your first 7 days, it's important that you stick to these guidelines and don't cheat for maximum results. Now, it depends what results you're prepared to work for, so you decide that. After your 7 days, you can enjoy a cheat meal once a week. And believe it or not, this actually helps you lose weight as your metabolism goes into shock and starts working overtime. I love the thought of that. So, a cheat meal can be a meal next week that goes against all these guidelines. You know, you can just choose something completely different that you've missed. All right, so I'm going to leave that to you to choose what that is. And number 10 is exercise. So interval exercise, when you do some exercise for like 20 seconds, then you have 10 seconds active rest, 20-10, 20-10, whatever. The intervals can vary. It can be 45 seconds of activity, 15 seconds of active rest. But exercise is really, really good, as you know, for every single inch of you. It's good for your brain, it's good for your body, your joints, your muscles. Now, what we're going to be doing on this group, Andy is going to be posting an exercise link. So you just click on the link and it will take you through to YouTube where there are some exercise sessions that you can do. Now, each day this week, we are posting a different, so on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we are posting a link through to Walk Club. Okay, so Walk Club is a 20-minute low impact fun exercise session to get your heart rate up. Now, it's not HIIT, but it's Walk Club. Okay, so if you're not used to doing a lot of energetic exercise, it's a brilliant place to start. Those of you who are on this group who do lots of exercise, you could use it as a warm-up, all right? So Walk Club is going to be, there's a link to Walk Club Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, there's going to be a link through to intervals, cardio intervals. So that's going to be much harder work. And that's a half-hour class that you can do online. And they're saying you need to be doing some exercise every day, and ideally of some energetic exercise. Now, on this group, we've got 25 wonderful ladies who are all at different stages when it comes to exercise. So it's about you doing something different for you. So if you normally only do Walk Club once a week, try and do it 2 or 3 times a week this week. If you do lots of exercise, then you might think to yourself, well, what I need to do differently is a stretch session. And if that's the case, message me and I can do a link. If anyone wants a link to maybe a pure stretch session, we can put that on too. It's about you doing something different to get a different result, all right? So the exercise links will be posted at those 5 sessions I've said over the next 5 days. And if anyone likes the sound of maybe a Pilates session or a stretch session, then let me know and we can post the link to that. Now, I think we've talked enough so far. So what I'm just going to say before I go is to remind you about pages 16 and 17. So when you're thinking, what am I going to eat this week, Emma? Go to the recommended food at the back. There are huge long lists of food you can eat. So I always like to think, what can I eat as opposed to what I can't eat, all right? So massive amounts of suggestions for different proteins. There's meat substitutes, beans and pulses, look at that list. Great long list of fish. Eggs, dairy and dairy alternatives, okay? So nuts and seeds. For carbohydrates, obviously they're granary wholemeal varieties. We've got brown rice, quinoa, oats, rye bread, spelt bread, masses, 2 columns of vegetables. Okay, so you can see where your week needs to be going. Then on page 18, we've got lots of fruit suggestions there. Oils, condiments, sweetener, you can use agave nectar, you can use honey, and obviously lots of seasoning. Okay. Now, we're going to be talking about other things tomorrow, but I do just want to mention one last thing. Now, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting tomorrow. At page 9, it talks about fasting. So all I want to say now is fasting is suitable for some people, okay? There are some people it is absolutely not suitable for, and those are people that are on medication for something. So maybe they might have diabetes and they have to eat at certain times, they have treatment at certain times. Fasting for this clean eating is not suitable for them, okay? It is also not suitable for anyone who has had a history of disordered eating, okay? So I need to just put that out there now. So if you, in the past, you might have had problems with disordered eating, then fasting is not for you, okay? But many of us actually doing a couple of mornings of fasting actually is nothing like as bad as it sounds. And actually we find it very beneficial, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow. But I needed to say for those groups of people anyone who needs to take medication first thing in the morning and it says take with or after food, it's not going to be suitable for you. And obviously history of disordered eating. All right. So what I would love you to do is to, hopefully you've reread your booklet a number of times and you're going to make a plan. This is day 1. You're going to make whatever changes you decide to do. And remember, you're going to get as much or as little out of this as you choose. All right, it's completely down to you. The good and the bad news is it's down to you. And it's down to me for my results, okay? I'd love you to just keep in contact on this page. If you find maybe a new recipe, you think, oh, that's a really nice thing. Oh, Good Food Guide is a great place to look. This is a really good recipe for a new type of breakfast I've been doing, or a granola recipe, a make your own granola. Whatever, post it. If you've got questions, post them. And we're going to have lots and lots of discussions so that we can all support and help each other. I cannot give everybody the answers all the time, but I'm going to help you get where to look and make your own decisions so that you learn lots from this week and you can take it forwards and you can think, well, I did that clean eating week and as a result I've learned X, Y and Z. And I don't need all that bread, I can have this instead, or I still feel full after 1 piece, not 2. That sort of thing, all right? Right, so I'm going to let you get on with your day. Any comments, let me know, and I'll be back in the group later in the day. Won't be doing another live later, but I will be chatting with you, answering your questions, and can't wait to get your feedback about how your first day has gone, all right? So keep in touch, see you later, bye.